Welcome to Prime Testimony channel. Today we are going to continue with the discussion on the living, cleaving, and becoming one flesh in marriage. In our previous episodes, we were able to finish discussing the aspect of living. Today we are going to look at the meaning of the cleaving. And as usual, I've invited here today our sister Mercy Mausi Kokoi to come and drive us on our usual road. You look great.
Thank you.
I love your outfit. How's the family? I hope the family are doing very fine.
Family is blessed.
We thank God.
And I hope our viewers are blessed too.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, so we are here again to look at the cleaving part of the Genesis chapter 2, 24 bits. Leave, cleave. We've seen the leaving, and today we want to digress into the cleaving part of that instruction. So, what are the synonyms of the word to cleave? And the few ones I chanced on, one of them is to hold fast to something, to be attached to be united, some level of closeness, bonding more than. So that is it. And living actually paves way for cleaving. So if you recall from our previous episodes, we said, yes, it's okay. Sometimes we can live with other members of family, but what that means is that sometimes it's steals that closeness, are working at our closeness. It takes that away from us. So it is important that we live, and the living will help us to cleave together, to hold fast to each other, to be attached to each other, to know each other better, So in other words, what we are saying cleaving is to be sensitive and responsive to the feelings and general well-being of the other. So I know you, you know me, I know you well, you know me well, I know your feelings, I know what makes you happy, I know what makes you feel sad. So it's a process, a whole process that can take a lifetime. That is to say, cleaving does not end in a day. So it takes gradual time. Every day unfolds something to us as we know each other daily to be able to bond better. So over the years, those who are doing the cleaving well, you realize that over the years, sometimes people even say they look like each other. They behave like, you can tell the behavior, before it even happens. You can predict it. So that is about cleaving. Now, in our modern day society, many things prevent us from working at this all-important thing of cleaving to each other. And we are saying that cleaving is a level of intimacy, high level of intimacy. Please, not the sexual, the romance intimacy, but high level of intimacy, to know each other better and to be sensitive and responsive to the feelings and needs of the other. So there are things that impede our efforts at this. There are some that are beyond our control, but we can still do something about it. But there are some that are things that we do that we may avoid to be able to work at our cleaving or our bonding. And so we want to take turns to look at them one after the other and to learn something from it. And the first point that impede our cleaving, I want to mention, is long hours of work away from home. This we have no control over. I think in one of our episodes we mentioned that it is very important to work. The finances grease the relationship. It's like a grease. So if there is greasing, odo kakra, sika kakra, so we have to work, and those times, years passed. At least it's the woman who usually work around the home. So even if you are the man and you have gone to work and you want to pass through one afternoon, you come, so we can work at our bonding. But these days, the man must work, the woman must work so that we can accommodate our expenses. And so the long hours of work away from home sometimes work against our bonding, because we come back very tired, and there are other things pending. So it's not like you come and you are just continuing with your bonding, but you must take care of other things. Yeah. If the children are there and other many other things, we must take care of them. And so you get so tired that we don't even have any time to even sometimes you could have family after work not saying hi to the other to say, so how did your day go? Sometimes there are things like that the whole day. So it means that we wake up in the morning, we are in a hurry to leave home to beat traffic. We work very long hours, we come back, and many other things are following. And so we may not even have time to touch and to say, how did your day go? So this thing impedes our bonding. But just as we are talking about this, it's an encouragement to ourselves that yes, definitely we must work, we must make the money, but we can fuse little time. It may not take too much time. It is not the too much time that is of essence. It is the quality of the time for me that is important. Yeah, so just a little, even while away. These days, because of technology, we can chip in some few messages to each other to enhance the way we are bonding to each other. The next point we want to look at is living apart. Sometimes due to work. Yes, these days mostly due to work. And then either in country. So it's the same country, but this person is working in Brongahafo and this person is working in Accra. And in some cases, it's even intercountry. So one person will be working from Ghana and the other person will be working from the United States of America or one of the African countries. Okay. And then that aside, these two aside, then there are the business trips also. So all these are necessary evils. We must, developing from the first point, we must definitely work. And sometimes due to our skills and expertise, sometimes the kind of skills you have where you are based will not be able to absorb you. You have to get to the other location to be absorbed, to get work to do. So it is very, very important that we work. But what can we make out of that? It's a necessary evil. But if we are not deliberate about it, what it means is that it will be eating into our efforts of cleaving to each other, to know each other well, and to bond better. So what some families do, yes, we are both in Ghana and we work in different regions. It's difficult though, but some will occasionally, some do it twice in a month. So fortnightly, they make effort to come back to the family, reborn and then go back. Some are even able to do it weekly. It is costly though. And that's aspect of our living even introduces higher cost, because if it is electricity bill, it means that you have to pay double. If it is water, we pay double. Everything.
Managing 2 homes.
You are managing 2 homes. That is the word. But like I said, it's a necessary evil. But what do we make out of it? The check-ins, if wherever it will be possible to have the physical appearance, let's make effort to do it. If physical appearance will not be too often, how about using technology? all those things at our disposal, the telephone calls, the video calls, and these days a lot of tools in our hands to make a meeting, not electronic meeting, so to say, possible. Yes, so we manage with it. But whenever, it means that we must be on the lookout. Whenever there is any opportunity for one to move closer to the other, it means we have to take opportunity, to do that. So if there is any work opportunity that requires my skill closer to it, it does not matter whether the man or the woman must leave, but whoever can get the opportunity to live closer to the other, I think that would be very, very important.
Yeah, because I know of a gentleman who resigned his job and took another job closer to the family, though the salary and the incentives was going to be comparatively smaller. But in order to have time for the family, I think he opted to do that. And
so it's absolutely important. Now, what we are talking about cleaving here is that if we leave and we are not cleaving, it amounts to double loss.
All right.
We lose twice. Why? Because we are leaving our family that we have bonded with already for a spouse.
Yeah.
Now we come to the spouse and we are not able to bond, to share ideas. So when we come to one flesh, we'll talk more about those things,
right,
how we can connect on those tangents. Okay, so it means that we have lost here and we have lost here. Yeah. So you lose twice. Seriously. And that's why we have to be very, very intentional about this. Now, these things may not make sense, especially when you are young. But you see, as we grow older, retirement plan, when we are planning for retirement, people will easily consider the finances and then the housing part of retirement. Yeah. But this is a retirement plan as well. That if we are not cleaving, if we are not bonding to each other, the children, they will leave.
Two enemies living under the same roof.
Yes. The children, remember that we had mentioned leaving. They will leave.
They will leave,
And we are not expecting them. We say even when you give them offer, free house offer, if possible, they should reject it.
Which means that if you are not careful and you don't cleave after leaving, you may live with your spouse during retirement, but you will not see eye to eye with each other until you depart this earth.
Yeah. So if that is the scene you have created, and that can be awful. It can be awful because living with somebody you can't talk, and especially when you are not in good health. As we age, health issues and things like that, and you are under the same roof with somebody that you can't connect with, that can be something else. So it's not as simple as we are saying.
It is true.
And it is work. Cleaving is a hard work to do, especially considering that the fact that we have different personality. It is hard work. Now let me chip in this funny thing. Sometimes you hear many people say that Empanada Train is sweeter than marriage. And what do we mean by
what is the English name for
Empanada Train? Well, we can say courtship.
No, I think like a concubine, like a girlfriend or...
No, I don't want to look at it in that way.
Okay.
Yes, I know that the accounts have a different meaning when it comes, but I'm actually referring to courtship.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
That's
so
fine.
I'm just bringing it to the account to say Empanada Train. That is also Empanada Train, isn't it? We are preparing to get married.
What's all your Dutch now?
So people usually say the Empanada Train is sweeter.
Than marriage.
If you ask me, I will beg to differ. Yes. It is only sweet because of the work we put in. I'm glad you get me. The Empanada Train is only sweet because of the work we are putting in.
Okay.
The frequent check-ins.
Yeah.
Okay? So I visit you, and in the next few minutes, you are calling to check whether I have arrived safely. Okay. And the occasional gifts.
Yes, okay.
And the kind words. Okay. Oh, so darling, please, can you mind the gutter? All these things are simple, basic courtesies. Okay, so it is the work we are putting into the Empanada Train that is making it sweeter.
So which means that if you're able to transfer the same amount of work into the marriage, you will see the sweetness in there.
Absolutely, that's what it means. So it is the work that goes in, but it looks like those things, are for that period. Once we get married, then those things.
That's why you see the beautiful gesticulation. Oh, hi, baby. Hi, hey, baby. Oh, baby. I remember the first time I had that baby. I said, these people, why don't we take them, the women in the juvenile unit of the Ghana Police Force? How can you call a whole grown-up person a baby? I just later realized an American term that is being used everywhere. Oh, my baby. Sometimes I boy, remember.
Yeah. So, friends, we are looking at cleaving and the fact that there are certain things that impede our efforts to cleave and what we can do about them. Some are necessary evils. The first two, I'm adding a third one that is a necessary evil. We can't do anything about that thing, but we can do something around it. So the next thing is pursuing higher education. These days, everybody's schooling. COVID has made it worse. Now that we know that we can do a lot of online courses, and oh my goodness. So some people even marry before they decide to do first degrees, and then after first degrees, we can talk about second degree, that's your master's, and on and on. Apart from those ones, there are some certificate courses or professional courses that you want to pursue to make you a better person. Yes, we have to be better versions of ourselves at every point in time. So those things are very, very necessary. However, as we said, much as they are important, let's leave just some margin, a little margin to find small times to bond occasionally. The sweet talks, the care, and all things must come just to make sure to tell each other that yes, we may be busy in other areas like this, but they are not the only important things in our lives. Our spouses are equally important, much as our children. So why is it that when we are that busy, we still make time for our children? So if we are not making time for the spouse, then it means that the spouse is not necessarily important. Whatever is important, we make time for. And so if the spouse is important, we also reserve just a little margin of time just to connect to each other to make life.
On the other hand, so some also get married before they undergo apprenticeship. You will see, there's a married person, a married woman, but maybe because of some opportunity she did not get earlier on, then maybe with the support of the husband or with her own support, then she undergoes apprenticeship to, get some additional knowledge to be able to, find something to do. That's also there.
Yeah, they are all part of higher learning. That person may have probably completed senior high school, and so TVET is higher learning for you to add on to your skills. Yes, so definitely you will have to be under someone patiently and in all humility to be able to learn the skill. However, you also make time for your spouse.
So then, you are listening to Prime Testimony Channel, and my young men, my young women out there, let me encourage you. If you have the opportunity to learn or to study anything, do it as soon as practicable before you get married. However, if you did not get that opportunity, it doesn't mean that you can still not undergo that apprenticeship or you cannot continue learning. But make good use of every opportunity that you get. So, Auntie Mercy is back continuing. I'm really enjoying it. And I just can't stop listening to her.
Thank you very much, Uncle. So I'm happy you are enjoying it, and I'm happy our listeners are too, and most importantly, learning the nuggets. That is very, very important for me. once we are able to learn from it to make our lives better, we will praise God for the opportunity He has given us. Yes.
All right. Thank you. This Prime Testimony channel, we have heard about this cleavage. We have heard about the fact that we have to cleave. These are nuggets that Auntie Mercy is sharing. It means that you can marry, you can leave, get married without cleaving to your spouse. And it has consequences even on retirement. Because can you imagine living with a spouse with whom you don't flow?